I think probably originally like coughing. So. All righty. Do I need to talk extra loud just in case there's anyone standing outside still? Excellent. Thank you for coming along to our next session. This one is on hardware. I'm Charlie Althwaite. I'm going to be the chair for this session. I don't have a fun squeaky toy, unfortunately. I did think about making a weird noise. Is it not on? Is it on now? There we go. I won't make any weird noises, but I'm going to give the speakers a wave when you've done kind of 10 minutes. And then you know you've got 2 more to go before questions. Is that okay? Nice. All right. Let's welcome up our first speaker then. We've got Helena.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Helena. I'm a postdoc at Aarhus University. And as part of my postdoc, I've been working on the Minimon, which is a mini time-lapse camera trap for monitoring arthropods. And I've been working on it with the help of my brilliant colleagues, including also Jamie, who's here. That doesn't. There we go. So the Minimon was developed as part of the Antenna project, which is a BioLever surplus project with different partners across Europe. And Antenna is a loose acronym for making technology work for monitoring pollinators. And so on the technology part, we needed a camera trap for monitoring pollinators during the day, but we needed something that was small, that we could easily carry even in remote locations. We needed something with minimal maintenance and also something quite inexpensive so that we could deploy many. And we didn't find anything that matched our requirements at the time. So that's where the Minimon was developed. And this is the mini camera. So the hardware consists of a ESP32 microcontroller with a 5 megapixel camera sensor, a custom PCB, a small battery, and then a solar panel that allows it to run indefinitely. And everything fits in a nicely 3D printed case. We deployed and tested the Minimon for the Antenna project and the Ductiles project. So with Antenna, it was deployed in several countries with our partners within the project, so throughout Europe. We had a 1-minute time lapse. And so we were interested in recording these day pollinators, but we wanted a standardized background that was a little bit more attractive than just a plain plate. So our colleague at UFZ designed this beautiful plate with 3D printed flowers. And then for the Ductiles, Jamie deployed 10 Minimon devices in a rewilding site in Denmark, and with the goal of monitoring ground-dwelling arthropods. And he placed a small bathroom tile directly underground with the goal to increase the contrast. So the deployments went fine. We had the device were quite reliable. We had some quite sharp images. The bug tiles also gave us some interesting critters to look at. Of course, this is hardware, so sometimes it does have some problems. So we had sometimes some frames out of focus, a bit of fog on the lens in the morning, and of course, you can also have vegetation growth over time. The cows were also very interested in the Minimon, but they didn't seem to like it that much and vandalized some of them. So we collected then a lot of data, but we still have to do something with it. And so we went for offline data pipeline. So the images, well, the data is recorded on the micro SD card, and then we use off-the-shelf models to analyze this data. So on the SD card, you get the images and the metadata. The metadata now is automatically converted to the ChemTrap DP format, so at least the deployment and the media tables. And then with the images, we use the flatbug model for detecting the insects, and then the detected insects are classified with BioClip2. So quickly, flatbug is a YOLO model on steroids that was trained on a variety of data sets containing arthropods. And because of this diverse data, it was expected to have a high performance out of the box without retraining. Same with BioClip2. This is a foundation model that was trained on the data set of 200 million images across the whole tree of life. And you can use it to perform classification at different taxonomic levels. And here again, we expected a good performance out of the box. So with the antenna data, we ran it to flatbug. We then had some insects that were detected. Here are some examples of true positives. Of course, we also did have some false positives. With the antenna data, we do not have labels at the moment, so we did not have quantitative results, but going through the pipeline, we could see that, I could see at least visually that it worked fairly well, but you would have to take my word for it. Of course, if you don't want to take my word for it, well, that's good, because for the bug-tiles data, we do have annotations. So we also ran it through flatbug. We had some nice things to look at. Of course, we still had some false positives, and well, flatbug did not manage to detect gastropods yet. So in terms of results, we have like here the F1 score precision recall. On all the images, we had about 73% of F1 score. It performed slightly better with arachnids than insects. A little bit better with Hymenoptera than Diptera. And then with the different sizes of Dipteras, in short, the bigger, the better. And then we also ran it through BioClip. And then we evaluated the classification at different taxonomic levels. On the blue bars, you have the number of annotations that we have per taxonomic rank. So this depended on the confidence of the annotator. And so overall, like, again, this was just not retrained at all. And so for some of these groups, we were over the 90% accuracy. And we were especially surprised with some of the less studied groups that performed quite well. There was a huge drop with the Diptera. Didn't have the time yet to investigate really what was going on there. But yeah, overall, yeah, we did build a small and affordable camera trap that was fairly reliable. We also worked on a data pipeline with that allows the standardized formats to be shared on other platforms. And then with Flatpak and BioClip out of the box, we can really get some quantitative data. And we argue that this is usable as is. And then for the next steps, my colleague Zix is testing now a prototype that works also for night monitoring with an array of red LEDs. And he's looking at earthworm behavior at night. We're wrapping up the documentation, the preprints, and everything. The plan is to have everything open source so that you can build the hardware, modify the firmware, and use the software of the data pipeline. Thank you.
Fantastic talk. Brilliant. Thank you, Helena. We've got plenty of time for questions. Does anyone have anything? Yeah, Leah.
I think Jamie would have to answer that.
We can
Yes.
as far as like seeing that with the BioClip tool, we go down to power level, we click right, and with yes, we will also impact go down to species level. So what is the actual resolution you can provide?
So with BioClip 2, you can go up to species level. And so the thing was with the bug tiles data, the finest annotations we had were up to family level, because the annotator was confident on the family, but not further. So that's what we evaluated on. But in theory, you can go up to species level. But then, yeah, you need to be able to validate that.
Anyone else? Yeah, Kelly.
Yes, I was distracted with the flowers. So how does it respond with the response like the daymat? Because I was wondering if I could be like a mosquito pollinators, pollinated flowers. Be good for good system to use.
At least with the bug tiles data, we had quite a bit of ants that could be both detected with Flatpak and then also classified as ants with BioClip. Now, I don't know how small your mosquitoes are. So yes. So maybe, but yeah, it's also very, then the resolution gets very pixelated. So it depends if you only want to say, okay, there is a mosquito. If you want to know what kind of mosquito it is, you might need a better resolution.
I had a question actually. I love that. So you had some issues with the cows.
Mhm.
I wondered, do you often have problems with people as well? And what do you do to kind of make sure your traps are left alone?
Well, at least the ones I deployed in Denmark, and it's Denmark, and people are very
No selfies on the
yeah. So that was okay. What I also noticed, like during the field work, was that people were more like interested, and they were coming and asking what we were doing.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I know that in Spain they actually had to put it behind a fence because they were afraid that they would get stolen.
Yeah.
So
I did wonder if that was a common
yeah.
practice or something. Yeah. Thank you. Probably got time for another one if there is one. Yeah, Leah. Please.
insects on the long thing to follow the pump to get with the to increase your area